Hello, it is Throwback Thursday, September 12th, 2024. Steve Sipress throwing it back. Yesterday was the 23rd anniversary of one of the most somber days in U.S. history and world history, I guess. September 11th, 2001. And therefore, I'm still wearing the American flag shirt, standing in front of my American flag, although my neighbors have taken down their American flag. They only put them up on a few days a year. But anyway, I decided to throw it back to 2001, and I thought how back then were kind of the early days of businesses catching on to the power of the internet. So early that did you know that 2011 is the first year that Google.com appeared in the top 20 of the most trafficked websites on Earth. And they only cracked the top 20 at spot number 11. And it wasn't long until they were in the number one spot for a long time. And they are the 800-pound gorilla of the internet world. But back then, owners, as they always are, very slow adopters of new technology. Very few businesses had their own websites back then. And I looked it up, and believe it or not, I don't know if you'll believe this, but last year, we are back. I had to come inside to my office because we have such poor internet connection here up in the mountains to get a better signal. And so, as I was saying, there was some research done last year, 2023, that, believe it or not, found that 27% of businesses do not have their own website. 20%, 7% of businesses in America do not have their own website. Now, the large majority, though, said, they plan to get one. But then this research showed surveys with various excuses of why they don't have one. Gee, it costs too much, or I don't need one, all that kind of stuff. But it just goes to show very few businesses had their own website even 5 or 10 years after really the boom in the internet started in the late 1990s. And even today, millions of businesses do not have a website. So it's really no wonder that 2 years after ChatGPT exploded onto the world and AI became accessible to people like you and me, we don't have to be expert coders and computer programmers to use AI like computer programmers have been using for decades. Now anyone can use AI. And so there's been an explosion. There's almost 15,000. Someone on my crack implementation team of AI experts did a count about a month ago and found over 14,000 AI tools are now in the marketplace. Tools that can do all kinds of things. And when you chain them together, they can take care of almost every menial, repetitive business task. Now, there are situations where they can't. It depends on the technology you're using or how complex your system is or whether you're doing it so much by hand or offline that it's too difficult or costly or time consuming. It's not worth it to AI-ify it, as it's known. But maybe you might think that it's worth a phone call to explore the possibility. I've opened up time on my calendar. You go to my website, aigrowthwizards.com. You can get on my calendar and I can ask some questions and we can find out if there is a possibility, and if so, how much time would it take? How much would it cost? How much trouble would it be to get rid of all kinds of crap that you have to do or you have to pay someone to do, and you hate it, they hate it, there's mistakes done, or it's done late, or it's not done at all, or not as often or as well as you want. You might want to check this out. It's always, but here's another point where you may not want to be a slow adopter of technology. I can tell you from the clients I've already helped, life-changing, when they're like, I had no idea that I could only spend 15 minutes a day and take care of all my emails, and still all the hundreds of emails were sorted and sifted, and ones were responded to that can have automatic response and no input, and then the ones that need a little input from the business person or the salesperson, whoever it was, were done, and all emails were written, social media was taken care of, business manuals, HR manuals, all kinds of legal documents, all this kind of stuff, requests for proposals, bids, contracts, all kinds of stuff that human beings are doing. That if they're doing this stuff over and over, you really might want to explore this and not be a slow adopter and not be a statistic that 23 years from now we're talking about, wow, can you believe it? In 2024, only a tiny percent, study shows that less than 2% of businesses right now are utilizing AI as much as they could be. 2%, like wide open opportunity, and whoever your competitors are, whatever industry is, whoever really starts doing this first, good luck to anyone else trying to compete with them. Maybe you want to be that business that your competitors say, holy cramoly, I can no longer compete with them. And not to mention you're doing it easier and cheaper than you ever did before. If that's worth a phone call to check it out, see the possibility, or see what you can do that in the near future it could become a possibility, again, I've opened up some spots on my calendar to help you out. Go to AIGrowthWizards.com. That'll do it. For Throwback Thursday, September 12th, 2024, thanks for being here today. I'll be back with you again tomorrow on Foundation Friday.